Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I want to do my favorites video for you for the month of September. So this month so far has been very eventful. We had an unwelcome guest here in Florida, Hurricane Irma, so that drove me crazy. And then I went on a trip, so I was traveling, so there were several products that were staple products for me, and they were products that I used a lot, especially because I was at my job for 4 days. I had to pretty much eat, sleep, everything there. It was locked down at the hospital and I had to live out of a bag. So with that was my makeup bag, and there was products that I just realized how much I love them and how much I gravitated towards them. And then following that, I did go on a trip to Nashville and I did incorporate a lot of the products that I was loving into my travel bag going there as well. So I just realized how much things I enjoyed and I wanted to share them with you guys. But I will admit that this month, because Ulta was having their 21 days of beauty, I did make some purchases and I did just splurge a little bit at Macy's because they were having 15% off. So I will have a haul coming up for you guys soon to share with you some of the new products I got, because it's been a long time since I've done a haul video because I just have been out of the game for a hot minute. So I'm just going to get started with this month's favorite. So the first product I'm going to share with you guys is this foundation from Cover FX. This is the Natural Finish Oil-Free Foundation. This is in the color N70. I know that a while ago I was ranting and raving about it, and I did include it on a favorites video, and I revamped it into my collection, and I realized that I love it. This is such a great foundation. I wore it in Nashville, I wore it at the hospital, and it just lasted so nicely on me. It gives me such a great coverage. It doesn't leave you completely matte, but it does give you a nice dewy finish, but not overly dewy. It just gives you that really beautiful, healthy glow. And if you set it with a powder, it can give you more of a matte finish. But I love the way that this holds onto the skin. I love the way my skin looks with it. I think that with time, it just looks even better. It's beautiful. I love this, and it lasts all day. So I was walking up and down Nashville all day for hours at a time, and I was out in the sun. I was sweating. Like, I wore this to a food, music, and wine festival, and it lasted all day for me. So it looked beautiful from like the second I put it on to the second I took it off. So really loving this foundation. So the next foundation I have been also loving. I feel like I've just been going between the two, between this one and this one. This is from DIOR. This is the DIOR Skin Forever Perfect Makeup Everlasting Wear Pore Refining Effect with sunscreen, and this is also has SPF 35 with shine control. So I have used one other DIOR foundation, and I really love that foundation as well. And Jaclyn Hill spoke about this on her channel quite some time ago, like a few months ago, and I did run out and get it, and I love it. You guys, it is so stunning on the skin. Like, between the two, I don't know which one I like more this month, but this one, I want to say, it just looks so effortless. I wore this in February non-stop because that's when I got it, because I went to a country music festival outside. It was on Fort Lauderdale Beach. I was in the sun for like 10 plus hours, and I wore this foundation and it stayed all day. I've been wearing it the last few days. I wore it to work. It stays beautifully. I love this. It wears super nice as well, and it keeps my oils at bay. I feel like in the warmer months I get a little bit more oily, and I realize that when I have to set my foundation, because for a while it was not setting, and I think that this foundation does a really good job at controlling the oils on my skin. So I really love this. It is a pricey foundation, but I really enjoy it, and I think that it is worth it. So the next product I'm going to share with you is something that I actually finished, so it just goes to show how much I love it. And you guys, I'm going to share with you my Laura Mercier translucent powder. Like, it is completely done, like done. I love this powder. This is my favorite setting powder for underneath my eyes. I loved the Graftopian one for a really long time. I had it in the color Banana. I think it's called Banana Split, and I loved it. It was beautiful. It was my ride or die until I got this guy. I've just been using it non-stop. The other day I was going on my trip to Nashville, and I went to go use it, and I realized that there was nothing in there. I was literally scraping it, and I was like talking to my sister-in-law, and I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm all out of setting powder. I'm completely done with it. She's like, I cannot believe it. And I'm like, I can't believe it either, because I have so many different setting powders and I never am able to finish them because it does come with quite a bit of product. But I'm done with this guy. He is completely used, done, done, done. So I think that this is an awesome setting powder. It is in the color Translucent. It looks so nice on the skin. It wears really well on my skin tone. It doesn't give me flashback. It doesn't make me look ashy. It doesn't dry out my under eyes where I look like pasty and cakey. I just think it's a really great setting powder. I did order the Dermablend one. I think that Patrick Star uses. So they had that on the 21 Days of Beauty on Ulta, and it had really great reviews. So I'm going to try that baby out, and I did just get one in my Boxy Charm box. So I tried that out and I like that one as well. So I will say that if you're looking for a really great setting powder, I can attest to this and tell you that this one is absolutely amazing and I go hard for it. Okay, so another product I have been enjoying has been a highlight, and this is the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector in the color Prosecco Pop. Now this was a highlight that was formulated and created by Jaclyn Hill. She came out with Champagne Pop. Following the Champagne Pop, she came out with Prosecco Pop. And when she launched, Champagne Pop is really beautiful. It looks good on me. I like it a lot. But I think the deeper in skin tone you are, Champagne Pop will not work. So I know that when she came out with her second blush and highlighting palette, that she kept that in mind. She kept in mind the deeper skin tone women. Thank you, Jaclyn. And with that, she came out with Prosecco Pop. And for me, this is like the perfect highlight. It looks absolutely stunning on the cheeks. I will swatch it for you. It is beautiful because it's got like gold in it, and it looks so good on deeper skin tones. If you have a tan or if you're deeper in complexion, it just looks so good. It gives you that beautiful, dewy, beaming highlight look, and I love Becca's formulation of highlights. So there it goes right there on the back of my hand. I think it's really nice. I love how it looks. I love how it applies. I just think that she did a really good job with the color payoff and with the formulation and with the colors that she used. So it is a more golden shade. So if you're a little bit more fair, I don't know if this will work as well for you, but for me it looks so beautiful and I love the way it applies, and it just gives me that really gorgeous glow to the skin. So the next product I'm going to share with you, also a highlight, is from Makeup Geek. This is the Makeup Geek x Kathleen Lights highlighting palette. This is by far my favorite highlighting formulation, pigmentation, beaming ability. Like, this is my go-to highlighting palette. Any trip that I go on and I'm going for several days and I just want my highlight to be on point, I know I'm going to pack this guy because it is absolutely amazing. Kathleen Lights and Makeup Geek teamed up and they came up with this palette. It contains 3 full-sized highlighting shades, and 2 of which are a little bit more golden bronzy shade, and the middle one is a more pinkier shade. This highlighting palette is absolutely amazing. I love the formula. I love the way it looks on the skin. I love the way it applies. I just love it. I know I can always count on it. I will swatch it for you so you can see. This is what it looks like on the skin. That's all 3 of them there, and every time I wear it, people always ask me, women, what highlight do you have on? And I was in Nashville, I carried this with me, and this girl's like, I don't want to be weird, but what highlighter do you have on? And I was like, oh, it's Makeup Geek. Like, it's a Makeup Geek with Kathleen Lights highlighting palette. And she's like, oh, I've never heard of it. And I'm like, you should definitely check it out. It is so good. So this is going to be your, like, beaming, like, showing face, wanting to make a statement highlighting palette. I love the way it applies. I love the way it looks. It stays for me all day. I did recently just get the Ofra highlighter and I applied it on my cheeks, and it does show, and it was really beaming, but I just feel like it kind of faded. It was my first time using it, whereas opposed to the Makeup Geek one, I just feel like it stays so much nicer. I'm going to apply a little bit on here just to show you what it looks like on the skin. So I'm going to use this shade right here, which is called Sunlight. So you can see right there how beaming it is on the skin. It looks so good. And this is how each and every one of these highlights apply. They just look so nice. You could see, like, in comparison to my left side, I think that my right side is just definitely more lit. And I will show you the Jaclyn Hill on the other side so you can have an idea of what it looks like as well, because this one's also very gorgeous. But I would say you should definitely go out and get the Makeup Geek one, because I think it's a little bit better bang for your buck. You get 3 full-size highlights and they're all really beautiful. So there goes the Jaclyn Hill one on this cheek. And you can see it's also beaming as well. Like, I can't. Both of them look so beautiful. So just wanted to show you a little bit of how they apply on the skin to kind of give you an idea. So both of those highlights have been the jam. I've been loving them. Definitely suggest them. I have so many different highlights in my collection, and those are like probably my tops, like my top 5. I should probably do a video, like top 10 highlights, because I feel like highlights can get tricky. So those 2, bomb. So moving on from that, I'm going to share with you a makeup sponge I've been loving. So this is from Ecotools. Mine is extremely disgusting and dirty. I'm sorry, I have 2. And this one is nasty. I just so happened to pick up the nasty one. But this tool is really awesome. It came with 2 sponges. One is identical to this one, just a little bit smaller. I feel like it's a little bit more dense. But when you wet this sponge, it gets like very big. It gets so incredibly soft. And when I use it on my skin, it blends out my foundation so nicely. I love this. It is a very affordable product. It's, I think, $7.99 for 2 of them. And they work so well on the skin. I love them. I think they're very comparable to something like a beauty blender for a fraction of the price. And you get 2. And what I use the smaller one for is to blend out concealer on my eyelids or underneath my eyes, because it is a little bit tinier and it's easier to get into those smaller areas. But the big one is by far my favorite. I think it's a little bit softer, and I just love the way it applies my foundation on the skin. It applies it very evenly, very beautifully. I just feel like it just looks so good. And you can also use these sharper angles to apply your concealer, or just, you know, straighten up your contour and make it a little bit more sharp. So I think it's a really great versatile sponge, and it looks so beautiful when it applies any product on the skin. So moving on from that, I'm going to share with you a primer. This is from Tarte. This is the Tarte Clear Slate Poreless 12-Hour Perfecting Primer. So this primer is really nice. I've had this for a little while. It's almost done, actually. I've been using it a lot. And this has got that silicone feel primer to it. That's my type of primer. It's the ones I tend to gravitate towards, because I feel like it just smooths the skin so nicely, and it makes for a better application when I apply my foundation. So I think that it just makes the foundation kind of glide on, and it just smooths in any fine lines I might have in my skin. I don't really have too many problems with pores, so I can't really attest for the pore aspect of it, but I can say that it just makes my skin so nice and so seamless and so like crease free. It just helps to just fill in those fine lines wherever they are on your face, because with age we get these beautiful lines in our skin no matter what we do. So I think that this is a really great primer. I use it all the time. I think it looks so nice on the skin, and it makes your foundation look fabulous. Like, I just have nothing else to say. It's awesome. So moving on from that, I'm going to share with you an oldie but a goodie. This is my NYX HD Concealing Cachet High Definition Mineral Enriched Formulated Without Talc and Parabens Concealer. So for me, unfortunately, I do not have the perfect match when it comes to their color selection, so I do have to mix 2. I have the shade CW07. It's called Tan, And then I have the color Glow, which is CW06. I mix these two together and I apply them underneath my eyes. And if I want a little bit more of a brighter highlight, I will go in with just the lighter of the two. But these formulations of the concealers they have put out is so good. Like, for being a drugstore, very affordable brand, NYX really outdid themselves with this, because for me, I have a lot of creasing underneath my under eyes, and it is very hard to find a concealer that works well for your under eyes, especially when you have a lot of lines and fine lines underneath it. So for me, this works really well. It sets so nicely. When I apply powder, that's it. It doesn't cake on me. It doesn't look nasty. It blends out really beautifully, and it doesn't overly crease on me, which is like the most important thing. So I really enjoy this. It's so cheap. I know they have so many specials at Ulta and coupons that you can use with these. So it's affordable and it's awesome. So if you're someone who's looking for an affordable, cheap concealer, definitely look into these because it is really good. I love it. Moving on from that, I'm going to share with you a mascara. I forgot for a minute. I had like a little bit of a brain fart. So this is the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara, you guys. This is my jam. I have so many Too Faced palettes, and I feel like whenever you get a Too Faced palette, they love to throw in a miniature Better Than Sex mascara. So it took me a really long time to get the full size, but I did finally get it. And I have a billion of the miniature ones, but it is my staple item for on the go when I am, you know, traveling. I definitely take one of the travel size ones and I throw it in my travel bag because I know I can count on it to give me really beautiful full lashes. I feel like they did such a great job with the wand. So as you can see here, it is a brush type wand, so I feel like it grabs onto the hairs really nicely. It coats them evenly, and it gives me such voluminous lashes, and I don't wear false lashes. So for me, that's really important to have really nice full lashes, and this does it for me. I love it. I think they did a great job. I have never tried the waterproof one, but I can probably assure you that it's equally as good if you're someone who's worried about it running on you. But this is my jam, girl. Like, it is such a bomb mascara. Okay, so now for the last favorite item I have. This is from MAC. This is the Cream Sheen lipstick in the color Magic Spell. This is such a great lipstick that pairs well with everything. I love cream sheens because they're very hydrating. They feel like a gloss, but they look like a lipstick with a gloss, like a very pigmented gloss, I want to say. And I love how comfortable they feel on the lip. And this color is really beautiful because it just goes with everything. It's just a very universal shade. And I will swatch it here for you so you can see. So it is like a mauve-y muted pink shade, which is completely up my alley. If you look at any lipstick that I love, I think this falls into that category. And it looks so good, you guys. I loved it. When I went to Nashville, this is the one I always had in my purse because it looks so nice and I can always count on it to go with whatever look I was wearing. So I think that it's really important to have that lipstick that just pairs well with everything that you will put on your face. Like, you can just assure yourself that this is gonna look good. So I love this. I think it's great. I loved how hydrating it was, especially when my lips are really dry. I hate to wear like a liquid lipstick because it just makes them that much more dry and it makes it settle into all those fine lines. So I definitely feel like this was really great. It was really nourishing and it was beautiful. Okay, so this finishes up the favorites. Now I'm going to share with you the products I can live without. So like I said before, I've been revamping things into my collection, utilizing my collection, and trying things out. And you guys, Benifit put out this Fake Up concealer, I want to say 2 years ago, right? And Jaclyn Hill was talking about it on her channel, saying how wonderful it was and how she loved it. So of course, because I love Jaclyn, I went out and bought it. Jaclyn and I have totally different skin types. She's always said on her channel that her skin is very dry, whereas mine is very like combination oily, more oily than combination, but more combination oily. So when I started using this, like, it just creased on me. It was very oily underneath my eyes. It just smells weird. I just don't know why I didn't return it. it gives you very light coverage. So what it looks like is this right here. It is a wand, and it's got like this clear coating with the color pigmentation in the middle. I will swatch it for you as well. So it looks like that on my skin, and the color is nice, but it is just very creamy, but too creamy. Like this would probably be beneficial not for underneath the eyes, especially if you have creasy under eyes, because it will settle into every fine line and it's hard to blend out. But this will probably be good for cleaning up contour, but it's definitely something I can live without. I know Benifit reformulated their line and they no longer have the fake up version of it, but it's called the Benefit Cosmetics Boingo Hydrating Concealer. So for me, it's a definite no-go. I don't like it. It's very cakey underneath the eyes. It's very thick. It's just like not a good underneath the eye product. And it's very heavy, I feel like. I feel like it's nice to have a really great lightweight concealer, especially for underneath the eyes. And it just does not do it for me. It's not my jam. Something I could definitely use without. So live without. Not use without. So yeah, so that's my product that I can live without. So yeah, this completes this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys soon. Bye guys.